What's a phrase that you haven't said since school shut down? Mine. Have a seat.
Mm-hmm. Stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone line up. That's a,
Turn and talk to your elbow partner.
nah, I never said that. See, all right. Everyone line up. Stop running. Quiet.
I'm gonna count to three.
Nah, I never
Move
do that.
seats. That was a requirement, not an option. I'll wait. Why are you still talking after I said stop several times?
All
It's
right.
not locker time.
I'm gonna call your
Did
dad.
anyone else see this? Class. Lights off, voices off. Close your lips.
I'm gonna call your daddy. No recess.
Pull up your pants.
Time to go to Dunlap. Oh, you put it. See, I ain't.
Say pull up your
You
pants.
see how right we had to worry about that. Yeah. See anything? Yeah. What's bad is see anything? See
Hey,
anything,
that
man,
went pretty
boy?
well.
Yeah.
All right. Look at
Oh
the
boy.
size of
Stop
this
calling my
thing.
name. Do you think I can't see you?
All right.
Yeah. I need to do one for the CRI kids.
Hey, that went pretty well. All right. Look at the size of this thing.
You better bet your life. You
All
need
right.
to be.
Hey, that went pretty well. All right. Look at the size of this thing. All right.
Desperately seeking Susan star Mark Blum. Rise of coronavirus.
Mm. Like Bloomberg. Let's do that. Oh, man, we had all this money together. We won't have heard all this.
Hey, that went pretty well. All right. Look at the size of this thing. All right. Hey, that went pretty well. All right. Look at the size of this thing. All right.
Please turn off the. Are you still watching feature? You're in quarantine, so yes.
Yeah, I know, man. I
Pretty
know.
well.
Exactly.
Don't be this kind
They need to know. You probably can really suggest that. They probably put that on the app where you can turn all that off and just play all the way through. Yeah, you right. Cause that's like it'd be irritating, man. Yeah, you right. Somebody right. But you gotta tell them though. Cause they ask it. Just like when I called about my idea. They like cause it's helping them. You know. Yeah, they. I like Netflix. They communicate real good.
Right.
Yeah, sure do. She telling us for a laugh shit. She can really tell them they already do that shit.
Went pretty well. All right. Look at the size of this thing.
Red.
All right.
L-S-T-E-R. What color is a carrot? Carrot? I think it's a carrot. Carrot, but I don't know about carrots. I don't know about that. If you dig a 6-foot hole, how deep is that hole? It's about like 20 feet. 1 minus 1 equals? Equals 35. Spell red. Red?
That went pretty well.
If you dig a 6-foot hole, how deep is that hole? 20 feet. 1 minus 1 equals.
Why did I play again and I'm not touching it?
Spell red.
All right. Look at the size of this thing.
What?
All right. I think it's a carrot.
He said, I don't know. He ain't sound as dumb as he is.
Hey, that went pretty well.
Yeah, I see it coming here too. Just need to be patient.
It's definitely going off once this virus over with.
Hmm?
It's definitely coming off once the virus over.
Why?
Mighty tasty.
I'm enjoying it.
Right.
Yeah,
Look at the size of this
just
thing.
right now. Once the virus over with, it's time to move on.
They actually, you should keep it off during the virus. They said hair, if you click on the hair.
Shit, look at all the hair you get.
Yeah.
So everybody should go completely bald?
Yeah.
Nah. I don't think so. You just gotta wash. Like, I just wash my beard.
That went pretty well. Hey! All right.
Look at that. Just a little bit. Crazy.
Yeah, it's coming in.
All right.
Please, let it come in.
Don't worry about how you gonna rub it out.
No, I'm not. I'm getting it circulated. It's time for the circulator.
It's, I was about to see this.
But my hairdresser, I showed you the pictures.
Yeah, that probably work for him though.
That went pretty well.
If her store is still open, I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna order.
All
and see what
right. Look at the size of this thing.
I'm trying that.
All right. All right.
Yeah, grow in with a cut, a nice cut. Nice hair.
You should have seen the TV.
Yeah. Pray. God will give you the answers.
That went pretty
desires of
well.
your heart. Trust him.
That's not a desire. So, well, if you pray, he might give it to you.
So it's not a desire, you don't want it? You want this to be like this?
It's not that I want or not want. But,
Your hair grows fast too.
yeah, that's how long it was. My hair was real long. My hair was longer than yours.
All
at one time.
right. Look at the size of this thing.
You see the pictures?
No, I want to see it like
All right.
live.
Oh, nah. Those days is over.
Why not?
Let's
You
see
just
your
had
girl.
long hair.
Let's see your girl can. Yeah, they didn't have Agent Orange back then. Yeah.
There ain't no Asian orange, bro.
Look at that. You ain't looking up yet?
Country.
Country?
Yeah,
Oh,
country.
that's
bumpkin.
worldwide. This is Vietnam. This war. Everybody know that.
That went pretty well.
Funky. I need to put this. I need to wash my hair too.
All right. Look at the size of this thing. All right. Hey, that went pretty well. All right. Look at the size of this thing. All right.
These men need to stop stressing themselves out. Yes, I did
Hey,
both of them.
that went pretty
So
well.
be nice to your boyfriend-in-law.
This looks mighty
There you
tasty.
go.
All right.
Like Johnson
Look at the
Adams.
size of this
Like-
thing. All right.
Is that your favorite story or something?
No, he just reminded me. No, it's because they be nice and they was fighting. Like, be nice, dudes. Let's be happy you getting the taste. Fight. People fight when they win.
Hey, that went pretty well. All right. Look at the size of this thing. All right. Hey, that went pretty well. This looks mighty tasty. All right. Still a lot of room for improvement. This looks mighty tasty. All right. Excellent, I caught one. All right. Hey, that went pretty well. Wow, you don't see this kind of fish every day. All right. Hey, that went pretty well. All right! Look at the size of this thing! All right. Hey, that went pretty well. All right! Look at the size of this thing! All right.
Before people did
Hey, that went pretty well. All right! Look at the size of this thing! All right. Hey, that went pretty well. All right! Look at the size of this thing! There's no real point heading this way.
We don't need to go that way, right?
This one might be tough to take.
I still got this. Went too far.
I'm gonna protect this world. All right. This one might be tough to take down. This will be a cinch.
Alright, wait a minute. I'm sure you still locked in. You see what's happening. I just locked everybody up. So my bad.
Can you hear me?
Look at how
Yes, I
juicy
can.
this mango
Okay.
is.
Just to let you know, my name is pronounced
Looks like
Brian.
some high grade.
Orion, okay.
Yeah. It's okay.
Sure you know
All kinds of things. Sometimes Rihanna. I was like, you put a whole lot of letters in there.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Alright, so what do you think?
All right.
What do you think Prince George County is on a final day just bite the bullet and admit this school is going to be done for the year?
Is that a meme? Can I do a meme thing?
I know they don't want to do it, but I think they will do it.
Still got this.
All right. Let's see if I've still got it.
Well, I had a, are we recording somewhere live or we're just
Well, we're live, but it is, no one else is joining at this point. Okay. So, let's do that. Here's the thing, I've been concentrating with this film everything completed. We're putting some Easter eggs in here that are probably even better than before, especially with using the silver. So I realized also you don't have to use the broadcast here in the screen and everything to the broadcast experience so that you can go to the share screen.
Oh, okay. So you don't need two screens open. You can just
Well, you will need to do the share screen on Zoom.
right, and that's the only place you can do it.
This part of the broadcast. And I guess if you're using Zoom, that Zoom was not good part of it, you could explain everything exclusively, but you still need like a Zoom type partner where you explain everything. You know, the broadcast live, and like they have a chat feature here that allows you to do that. Yeah, so hopefully,
Do they want to do that, or they just find partners?
Shipwreck.
You don't know.
I don't know, but I think if the school's out until June, it'll force you to export.
Right.
This looks
Because
like it's
not
worth
everybody
something.
wants to toggle between the two apps. And Zoom had the plus with Zoom is you can get a whiteboard with Zoom. You can get a whiteboard screen with Zoom. So if I go now, oh snap. Hello? You
Yeah,
see the screen?
yeah. No, I don't see the screen anymore. I saw.
Share the screen. Yeah, I'm broadcasting. I broadcast.
How's that sound?
Okay, so why are you doing that? So this, okay. See, that's the thing. So, okay. When you Zoom, if you once you hit share screen, it puts some blockers in. Okay. So you have to have had the whiteboard already up in order for it to do that. You see what I'm saying? So that stops the flow of things. So if I want to go to write stuff down, I can no longer do that. It's only telling me, oh, you're sharing a screen, so now you're out of your own. So it jettisons
Give me a break.
to where that you have to use the app like explain everything to start doing the work and showing stuff.
Right. So you but you use broadcast and share everything in order to be able to write on it.
Well, yeah, I'm finding that okay. So all you now need to do is you hit with Zoom. You hit the share screen feature right there next to participants. Yeah, upper right hand corner. And if I tap it, it'll stop sharing. So that's why I want to hit it even further. But it will, if you hit participants to show you and I as a chat feature in there. Now we had something that
Actually,
in the settings, and this is key. And I know you're gonna tell you your features. This music settings here is the most you want to have. This we had a kid drawing phallic symbols yesterday.
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's just what kids do.
What?
That's middle school, right?
Oh,
But,
yes. Oh, middle school. Yes, I remember.
Now, his mom swore on the stack of Bibles that she was sitting right next to him.
Hey!
Yeah.
But you haven't recorded.
Yeah, man. This screenshot says he's not either you're a terrible watcher or he's craftier than you think he is. But nevertheless, what I like about Zoom is that what it will do for you that the other apps haven't been integrated yet is that right here, allow participants to share, you can lock them out. Allow them to rename, because some of them are coming in with their regular name, and then they'll go in and then they'll change their name to something inappropriate. Yeah.
Where is this?
Allow
participants to rename, so you can take that off? Or
okay.
So if
it's green, it's allowed. If it's white, it's not. So you want to lock them out in that way. Now, put them in a waiting room. You can't do that. That's a good option. If you wanted to just wait and then you let people in who know. Like I just saw an article on Facebook, was it, or Twitter? No, it was on Twitter, where they said a school system in Norway stopped using Zoom because the naked man figured out the code and got in. And I'm like,
yeah, none of that makes sense.
Password, like,
right.
Why isn't there a password? Like, why would you not do that? So that's on you. That's not what the naked dude does.
Right.
Yes, he has his issues.
Right.
Where was the password, people?
I've been in schools where we had child predators coming to the building who were on record, and the cops let them go twice.
What?
They never ran his record. He kept coming into the building. It was during the summertime. He kept coming into the building, and the cops never ran his record until the third time he came to the building.
Oh, no.
Right? So I'm saying, I'm just giving that example to say, like, things like this happen, but we need to have a plan in place for how we're going to address it, because we're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and that's what we do all the time. Especially in these situations where we need to engage children. They need to stay engaged in learning.
And that's where, and I don't know if you tomorrow morning, if you want to join, I'll post my lesson as I'm doing it. We're doing area of circles.
Jeez.
But this right here, I love this part here. It says allow participants to chat with, and it gives them, it says no one, host only, everyone publicly or everyone. And I put it to host only because I need to check if they understand how to multiply or whatever the answer is.
Right.
Feature on, it allows that when they send us something in the chat room, it only goes to you.
Gotcha.
And you lock them from sending any, so they can't use the chat room as a backdoor to have side conversations or go off and do their own thing in text messaging because they are at home.
Etc. Right.
And this way, it can be your CA check and say, what do you know? And for me, what I do is I say I need at least 50 to 75% participation
What's going on?
before we go on to the next question. So I say, okay, so we want to go forward, even if the answer's wrong.
Right.
We got semicircles. And I was like, oh guys, I noticed a lot of them put like 6 times 3, 4.14 was 2 times it was 6.28, which is right. So I said, well, wait a minute, you didn't go back and divide it by 2. Semicircle. So you have to go back and do that.
Sorry to ask
they
this.
Go back and they redo it. They resubmit. You can call people out by name, say, okay, John, I need you to resubmit. And nobody sees what he's done wrong.
Right.
So the only thing you're saying is, hey, John, thanks, Chloe. Shannon, I need you to resubmit on that, please.
No.
Okay? And so, so it works out because they save from embarrassment. And, you know, something slight like, that's the issue.
Right.
No. They explain everything. Oh, you good? Have you ever played with the app yet, Fred?
I participated in a webinar earlier, but I need to get into it, to really understand.
Okay, so with the Houston moment, oh my goodness, you are gonna love this. So check this out. So, what subject do you teach? Or do you still teach in classroom?
Yeah, I teach English.
Okay, so you can add a whole bunch of. Did you know the stuff you can put in?
Just basics, I would like to see it again. I need to see it again.
I'm gonna attend one of their webinars and contribute. So you can take, if you want, you can find a video clip. Say
they showed that.
Yeah, so I love that part because in effect that means if you're like myself with a 50-minute time block, you can set up everything in times to where, okay, I'm going to put this video in, and it's going to and you can, the only thing is you got to do a lot of the pre-planning. You can press that, you put that in. As I said, for the science and the math teachers, this is gold for them. Okay, for science and math, this is gold because if you got a hard to, and you don't want it to take up the whole space.
Yeah, you can do modeling, right?
No, just put it in the corner, sit right there. If you say, I need to go over something again, you put, like I do now, I put a video up, so we go put a video up tonight, and then tomorrow morning, somebody shows up late and say, hey guys, if you showed up late, go ahead, go to the YouTube page, and the video of everything we've done for the past 30 minutes.
That's exciting.
I had some Joe played yesterday. It is already there. The pictures one I love as well. Because it's not just the pictures, but you can bring in the clip art. Did they go over these? Yeah, that's tons of pictures, no matter what it is, especially with most. Now, this you can do the emoji, do that. You can put that in.
And I was also thinking for the time that we're in, like just to gauge their emotions. Like, can they manipulate the screen too?
No, I blocked them out from doing that because of the trust. If you know your students and you want them to have them to do that, they can. I blocked them out because I teach middle school, and the last thing is drawing images on the screen to forgive us. No, I've been doing this over the course of time that they
No.
But
All right.
I'm still like, I saw Fishing in New York, and I'm like, I heard no homo way back in the 2000s.
And yet,
I'm waiting for the time I hear no homo no more, and it's like, jeez.
yeah, get me out of this time warp.
I'm like, Cameron, he was saying no homo, and these kids like, know who Cameron is. No?
They barely know that Destiny's Child, that Beyonce was Destiny's Child.
Whoa!
Right?
This one seems pretty tough. Might
So,
cause
yeah,
some
it's-
trouble later. Best to deal with this now.
Is great. For examples, I particularly for myself, the images. You know, it's you're not bound by what's the name? You know, everybody.
Oh, Unsplash. Oh, yeah, I'm very familiar with Unsplash. I actually use that for my business, so.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
have really great images.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, what is he doing? And the audio. So, you they go through the audio because that's the only way I'll be honest with you, I haven't mastered it. I keep trying to put in. Well, I try
Might
to
cause some trouble later.
like it's
Best to deal with this now.
You know the rapper? Okay, sure. Maybe Young Matt. I'm on Matt.
I'm not gonna let you in.
You know Young Matt? He had this other song like 2 minutes left. Right? He said, because like, oh man, this thing here. He's like, you know, 2 minutes left. If I step away from the board and I play a Young Matt song, I'm telling you, you got 2 minutes to do this.
I didn't know that.
I'm it, and I'm playing songs I only play 2 songs. So then I didn't have time to do see? So, no shoot stop. Okay. So you're like, okay. Now, this one for your man, the website say that you want?
Oh!
Yeah, we go back to you can put your own browser in this go here. You can put the video of yourself.
Oh, wow, you're going. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
You're done
So
already?
you put that down there and close yourself if you want while you're annotating so they can see you.
That's powerful. And you have the little video. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you can take yourself doing that. See?
They were
So
serious when they said explain anything.
Yeah. So you can explain, you can go over the text, and while you're reading it, you'll say, well,
And annotate it. Yeah.
text, and you're highlighting it and reading it for them at the same time.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's at the end. I was like, oh, yes. What happened? What happened to it? So get the key and unlock it. Okay, give it a few minutes. Alright, now the browser feature lets you put a whole browser in. You can change the size. You go, come back.
So you can actually go to the website and it'll be like you're live on the side?
Yes.
Oh,
So I'm going to go
nice.
I put in CNN.com. Here it is.
I don't know if you can see my mouth is dropped open.
Yeah. And you want to show a video from a particular website, you can do that as well. So you are, you know, and there is no place, you know, you want to put in the YouTube clip. Ours is blocked in DC, but I know Prince Jersey, they allow you to get to YouTube. Of course, the students know how to get around the filter, but we don't.
They
So,
sure
yeah.
do. Even in Prince George's, they will go to the website in a different language.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, you can go into YouTube and put your. Let's go back. Put that back. Yeah, you can. So if you want, you can take out and put the browser right inside of the there, and it'll keep history. So
Wow.
you find something on, I don't know how to spell Thoreau, so I don't want to butcher his name. Huffington Post. And we're in.
Wow. And then it still records at the same time, so then the kids can go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you can do it, recording yourself, go onto the website, and change your voice tones for dramatic purposes. Yeah, I saw we're #1 trending on Twitter, and I was like, we're #1 at what? Oh, we're #1 in coronavirus cases. Yay. We're #1. But also, if you want, you can lock that. See what it is right now? It's locked as an image. So if you want, you can put it as an image. And they wouldn't be able to, to tap and go to it, but it'll be there as an image for you, and then you can take that out separately. And so yeah, there's so much you can do with that. And for your math teachers, of course, myself, you can put the equation in. So you have 7/8. Tap at the bottom one. It's your bottom cursor. You use your mixed numbers. So yeah, your exponential values if you want. So there's so much you can. It allows you. It's like they really took their time and came up with this app. I was like, I'm going to have a ball with this for distance learning as well as for classroom. Now, Ryan, do you have an Apple TV?
No, we don't.
Do you have an Apple laptop?
I have a Mac. Yeah, I have a Mac and I have an iPhone. I don't have an Apple TV.
Okay, so pretty sure this pictures it on you. I know. Okay.
Some schools have them, some don't. You know.
Yeah, well, you can broadcast your Mac to your Apple TV, and what I do, DC has one password that goes to all DCPS schools. So whenever I have a presentation from my iPad or from my Mac, I just connect the Apple TV directly to their projector.
Through that password.
And plug, and then bam, and I don't have to do the password again because it's one for all DCPS schools. And you can show whatever's on your screen to present, and you can walk around the room. You're not tethered as if you had Windows. We have to connect the computer literally to the projector to record. With Apple TV, you can just broadcast directly from your phone or your Mac or your iPad.
Wow, exciting!
If you got that unruly class that wants to throw stuff like oh my goodness, they know they can't throw stuff in my room because I will go stand right next to them. When you stand next to me, you think, I know you're trying to throw erasers. You know you're trying to throw erasers. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to dare you to man up and do it right from here so that when you call your mom, there's no dispute, no issue at all. So whatever hot spot might be, I'll just go and I'll pop a chair and I'll just, go sit over there. What? Go sit over there. I'm sit right here. And so you're not tethered to any one spot in front of the classroom or otherwise.
That's good.
So the browser part and the audio, you can add. You see at the bottom there. And here's a good thing. I'm like, get your own phone. Here's the thing. I'm like, my school for some reason, God help me. At the end of the day, they don't do announcements at all during the day. But once the bell rings in the afternoon, all hell breaks loose. Okay? And it is Peter Johnson, come to the front office. Chiquasia, if you're still in the building, come in. This audio to the timeline helps out tremendously. Now, I can't do it right because I'm broadcasting. It doesn't let me do that. But let's say you're recording yourself. You've hit that button, this red button, and you're recording yourself just in. If you're using Explain Everything exclusively, it will allow you to record it, right? Now, if for some reason somebody comes in and shouts or they slam a door, you can just tap that button, your recordings will come up, and you can back up, delete that section, and record and keep going as if it didn't happen.
Oh, wow. That's powerful, too.
And you can do live editing. So someone calls, you can pause it. When you pause it, it's not like other Apple products. When you're recording, it pauses, but it actually stops it. And you gotta start all over again. This one is actually a pause, and you can.
It'll connect the audio file.
Yeah. It'll just keep it going. So when you pause it, it'll stop. And then when you hit record again, that same red button, it'll just keep recording again. It won't like with the app, the not voice, the voice memo. The voice memo, sometimes you tell us to pause, it'll actually stop. But when you're doing video, there's no pause section in the video because they want you to do iMovie and record again and again and again. This would actually do that. So it gives you that option, which I love. So yeah, there's a lot to do in that. So the only thing is, it's like this. This app will give you everything you need to pre-plan and set it up so that if you want to walk in to class, hit a few buttons, get it going, and then you've already recorded yourself. You have the clips that you want. Everything is so. It's like you just present your lesson right there. Good to go, straight set up. Put the video on YouTube if the student wants to lollygag or come late or if they're absent. So yeah, I do that as well. If they're absent, I'm like, well, the video's online, but you gotta just go online. Here's the paperwork. Go online, watch the video, take your notes, annotate it, do your notifications, whatever it is that you need to do, and bring the work back by the end of the week. I'll give you 2 or 3 days to do it if they're absent. So this will set you up to where you just set it up. You do your prep work in the evening or on a Sunday. You do all 5 days, and then, man, you're good to go. You're free and clear.
And the students are fully supported.
Yeah. Now, they have the code. They gave me a code for 100 some odd licenses for all the expanded features. We do that. Oh, yeah. I sent it to you in text. I sent you a text for the license.
Best to deal with this now.
150 of them. So I have 150 on staff for our school. I don't think all of them are going to use it because they use like AirPod and for science. And we're using explain everything from math and science. And we're using Zoom. These parents ask the teacher. Oh, and if you have teachers who say, let's say Prince George County wants to use Teams, you can integrate this into Teams as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have that quota. It Teams through. Did you use Microsoft products? What are those called?
Windows 365. Yeah, DC had a big fight with Google a couple years ago, and they slowly ran. That's why we had to ban on YouTube. First, it was a memorandum of understanding, but now the code so they're going to use dual caching with these kids.
Yeah, so what are the different platforms on Windows 365 called? Because I think there's certain terms that they use, right?
Might cause some trouble later.
Yeah,
Best to deal with this now.
we use Metro Prime, so they give us, if you have your own laptop, or even if you use a DCPS laptop, they let you use
Best to deal with this now.
Office 365, and so some things for the whole Teams, but then they send to each principal,
Windows 365 has something called like named
the SharePoint?
Yeah, SharePoint.
So SharePoint is as well. It's the similar, it's the actual version of Google Docs. my screen now. So I
OneNote.
So we don't use these
Don't
OneNotes.
treat me like
No,
a
you
child.
don't. You don't use it, but Microsoft Edge, what's that?
That is a browser. So they have what was they using before? What was that browser before?
Explorer?
Yes, they get rid of that. So they have two browsers, and it's closed page, it's not even on here.
This stone's extra hard.
But Rainbow Ball apps
Stone's so
I
shiny.
didn't even see Explorer any longer, but yeah, they're getting rid of that. We use Edge, so yeah, you can. They give us all of these. All you do is put in your email, and you know SharePoint has a little button on
Might cause some trouble
on the
Let's
side.
to deal with this now. Whoa!
Here,
This one seems pretty
for the
tough.
apps. There's something to do on the desktop version of it, where
I still got this.
you copy it, you can start sharing the documents to everybody. They got so the staff for our meetings, but you can, you know, instead of hey, if you want, you can put assignments in there. Do you remember that motor?
Yes.
It's that motor with a Kubernetes.
Oh, okay, all right.
Really? This
That's what Teams is. So I don't have anything. Yeah, so I'm just gonna keep looking. But yeah, that's what it is.
Okay.
It's Edmodo, so we bring
Whoa!
out.
This one seems pretty tough.
I'm not gonna hold
Do
anything
that.
back.
So I'm gonna scare that. Folks know how to do that. Yeah, it's Edmodo.
My power!
Yeah, that was. I don't know how they just lost the rest of so fast.
Yeah, they did.
That was. Yeah, they had to go and another thing, I really appreciate that. You could upload videos. Students could use lessons on their tablet and they send it back to you. You can grade it, comment, and they will. They will do that. That was the great part of
I don't see a screen on
so, are you watching my screen now?
it. No.
Like the sunset pretty much well. Yeah. So this little team, kids, the team just sitting there. Yeah, now they're doing lights.
Oh my gosh. It looks really exactly the same.
Yeah, right?
I would. If you wouldn't have told me that you switched over to Edmodo, I probably
Done
wouldn't have.
already?
That's how much it
Yeah.
looks the same.
What's today's date? 26? Okay, so they had that Twitter chat already. Well, that's Pacific time, but it still is 4 o'clock.
This one
Yeah,
seems
they're
pretty
pushing
tough.
big now for distance learning. Everybody they think we're going to be doing this for a while. So they're going to give us free till the end of this year. Like every drug dealer. Every drug so that's what it's doing. It's everything. Emotional learning. They were thinking how you guys. So they're you know, there's no.
My power!
No. I personally have been using and I've been using it.
Yeah. But it's going to be 4 weeks. Yeah. Let's show them today not to and that was like,
Don't treat me like a child.
I'm gonna respect you, but I need new content. Like, so we can't do new, so we can't do any new work.
Yeah, that part doesn't make sense. I think you should be able to go and do new work because you got to think about the advanced students, and I think a lot of times we also forget about them, even in the classroom,
Yes.
that we're not challenging them in the way that they need to be challenged. So I would say I didn't agree with the no new knowledge, but then I also
I can
think
tell
about
this thing's got lots of energy.
with
This thing's
technology,
got
I
a lot of
think
energy.
we actually have the opportunity to meet everybody where they are.
Yeah.
So, yes, there's some people who need remediation. Let's use that time to give them what they need, but then we also have to give to our advanced students too.
Yeah. My 7D, my advanced group yesterday, these gals, God, they went there, they took Zoom, and they started their own study room after my class yesterday.
Yeah, because they just enjoy learning.
And I was like, y'all, we set up a session. So guys, okay, so now since the next class is over,
I gotta
make
hurry.
sure to join us in the study hall.
I love them. That's wonderful.
And he's like,
Yeah.
that was middle school. Y'all can set your own. Okay, all right, okay. That's all. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it clean. That's all.
Yeah. I think that this is an environment that students thrive in.
Yeah.
And it's really only most adults that are trying to catch up to their world.
Yes.
A lot of my students who participated in my Zoom, they said, I'm on it today. They said, Miss Reed, I can focus so much better during this kind of learning than in the classroom. Because they don't have their classmates sitting right next to them bothering them.
Yeah.
It's just them.
Yep.
I sure hope Bulma's around here somewhere.
Yeah, that is so true. And surprisingly, I wanted this 7 years ago. Oh, Prince George's. All right. Everyone allowed to hurt you. I wanted this 7 years ago, Prince George. I taught fifth grade, and I digitized the whole curriculum. I was like, be like a rock and roll. We have to change the world. Marcus coming. It's digital test. We're gonna be so ready. And I went and got digitized it, and people were like, so now you're doing too much. Why do you gotta do all that?
Yeah.
This is the future's coming. Like the kids get like it's no, we don't need. And then my son gets in fifth grade, and everything I pushed for a couple years ago, that's exactly what I said this 5 years ago.
Right.
So it's 5 years ago. Like I put algebra. Let's look at
All right.
I will tell you about DC. A lot of people have a lot of bad
Might cause some
experiences,
trouble
I'm not gonna lie.
Best to deal with this
But
now.
DC, they wouldn't listen to it that idea.
We gotta keep her.
Okay, I told them 4 years ago now. 4 years ago to put algebra in the 8th grade. Because the research showed that if you do the algebra in the 8th grade, you have a 75% chance of passing an algebra test. But if you do it in 9th grade, it drops to 50%. And DC thought about it. Like, okay, Ronnie, you do it, but you gotta pilot it. Okay. And I was in Kramer. I don't know if you guys Southeast DC, I was at Kramer. And I did Algebra 1, prep in the hood for DCPS. And now all the middle schools are eligible in the 8th grade.
Wonderful.
So that's why DC happens. That was
I'm feeling good.
Teachers everywhere in education. There's plus and minus everywhere. But these I give these members credit that they'll at least listen to a good idea.
Whoa, this one seems pretty tough.
If you have it, and you gotta be like higher up.
I'm not gonna hold anything back.
Right.
No, I'm gonna put it down.
You have a voice.
I got my kids.
Right.
There's no other system. I'm coaching for shit there and there. I want to go to alright, so do any other questions? Yeah, or anything else you want to say?
This is great.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep on trying and working.
Let's do it. One thing. You have a stylist?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I have a iPad.
okay. So only one right? And hold this. You can use your touchpad as the stylus to explain everything. Nothing on every other app as well. As long as the app has a guidance, if you left click and you hold it with one hand or one finger, right? You just left click it in the corner. You'll turn the rest of your touchpad into a touch screen that you can use your stylus with.
Oh, wow. Cool. I'm not gonna hold
That's good.
anything back.
Yes, you will.
Every day.
Hey, you have my phone? Okay. It's not just oh, can I take it up? Oh, I just found a solution. Here you go. You're touching it up. Move the right hand over, so the right hand. You should be touching with your left hand down. You can right and go anywhere. You can lift your finger, you can touch it, you can put it right there. That's your back leg. So everything is solution is just a problem that has to you. The problem is, you just have to find a solution. Everything has a solution.
Especially when we put our heads together.
Yes. Because everything comes up, I'll see you text, get you up, let you know, we'll keep it going.
Alright, thank you.
No problem, nice to meet you.
Tara just gave us $100.
Went too far.
Okay.
All right. This thing's giving off a lot of energy. I've never felt a stone this hard before. I can tell this thing's got lots of energy. Whoa, this stone's extra hard. Yeah! I'll get ya! Lucky! Yeah! I've never felt a stone this hard before.
Joshua, I'm learning about how they use that tool.
Look, that's a cave, isn't it? Whoa, this one seems pretty tough. I wonder if that cave's big enough for me to train in.
What you telling me for?
Did you ask her?
Well, I did. I asked about what? Let me tell you about what you doing. Your shit, huh? You know that type shit. You dang.
Thanks.
Might cause some trouble later. Best to deal with this now. Whoa! This one seems pretty tough.
Not gonna go easy.
It's my turn now! Here goes! My turn now! Here goes! My turn now! My turn now!
All right, I did it.
I got a board. You can't see. They got a big board.
Skateboard.
What's the light?
Might cause some trouble later. Best to deal with this now.
You say this is like 5 days, man. Yeah, son. I gotta get funky already. Get shit over with.
Seems pretty tough.
What is this?
Here goes! done already? All right. I can tell this thing's got lots of energy. That was a good work. All right. Looks like those killed by Cell and Boo are back safe and sound. I could really go for some food right about now.
I'm hungry.
Yeah! Ah!
I can still feel the ab workout. That's a good ab workout.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel it, like tight too, right here. Like
I mean, it's
extra
working,
tight.
yeah.
Like I didn't know my abs could get that tight.
You did?
That's feels
That's good, yeah. Just keep it up.
I've never felt a stone this hard
It's all about
before.
consistent. Until you get
All right.
even after you get where you gotta keep it up because you get right back.
rest of the workout. And for this call. You want to do the workout with me?
No.
It's really good.
I'm workouts. I just lift my weight. I need to start doing push-ups with my arms. I want to make my arms get better. I messed it up. Worse, going to the gym.
Might cause some trouble later.
I'm not gonna hold anything back.
Here goes! Here goes! something I was supposed to do at Broma's?
Are you taking pictures of Steve Austin?
Who?
You.
Oh yeah, my cousin did that.
Your cousin? That's you.
No, she did it too. My cousin's selling it.
All right.
I think Trina and Cece. I think they had something like that.
All right. You don't see stuff of this
But
quality
that
every
was
day.
easy.
I wonder if Broma's home.
In our life, we have something that oppresses us. We have something that threatens to hold us down. And when you do not have the strength, and sometimes we don't have the strength or the courage to break covenant with the thing that is oppressing us, you can count on God to break the covenant on your behalf. I don't know if you are like me and you have ever experienced God breaking the covenant. You couldn't walk away from the relationship, so God made the relationship walk away from you. You've been asking God, why did God let it happen? And I hear God saying, I had to break the covenant because you were going to settle for something that was less than you. It is time for you to break the covenant with what you have always known and dare to ask God, who can we become? You can never be so married to the way things have always been that you miss the opportunity to step into what God is doing. And I want to prophesy right now that God would start breaking the covenant that you have made with your that he would break the covenant that you have made with your anxiety. You are living as less than what God has called you to be, and if you don't break the covenant, I am crazy enough to ask God to break the covenant on your behalf. I believe that he's able to step in the middle of your situation and break the covenant that you're not strong enough to break. Get ready for them to walk away from you. Get ready for you to start creating on a new level. Get ready, get ready.
Ryan, if you're talking, you're muted, but just wanted to say hi.
Hi. Hi. I was just watching a little Instagram video, Sarah Jakes.
Oh yeah, I love her. She's good. She preached this message, what was it, 2 years ago about letting go is not promise. I've never forgotten that sermon.
Mm-hmm. This pretty much what she's saying now, but it's more so like if you feel like you can't let go of that thing, God's gonna take it from you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I really feel like that's what's going on in the world right now. Let me put my video on.
Yeah, like I people, it's so funny because people are like, hey Brian, how are you doing? And I'm like, y'all, I'm an only child. I was born for social distancing. Like, I put myself in quarantine before my company was like, everybody has to stay home. And I'm like, I wake up every morning and I'm like, I think I have corona. And I'm like, no, Brandy, you have allergies. So like, I really had been in a true space of gratitude.
Yeah.
I think my dad died right around the same time last year, and I cannot imagine being on the restrictions they put these hospitals under, because your cousin went here in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. Like, you cannot go to the hospitals. Duke is in the clinical trial to come up with a treatment, but like, I can't imagine like going through that experience with him or not being able to breathe with our community. Like, nah. So I'm grateful he's not here. I am grateful we have forums like this where we can still get together. Yeah. I am grateful that most of the Black people kept their mouths shut today. grateful. Of course, my phone has been blowing up. People are like, yeah, I see it. And I'm going to keep my mouth shut because...
you spoke enough.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you and Anika so much because y'all aren't here for the bullshit. Y'all say what I can't say, right? Because if I say something, I get everybody fucking sued and the organization gets shut the fuck down. Mm-hmm. But if y'all say something, it shows up differently. So,
yeah, I understand.
Yeah, girl. I knew I was like, I'm going to get on this call and they're going to think I am too lit. But I'm not. I'm fine. I'm over here happy at home.
Mm-hmm. Mostly everybody that I talked to was calm.
Everybody is fine.
I get to exercise every day. I'm like, God, I'm really going to have the
routine.
Yes, I was thinking, I was like, God, you know, I wanted to exercise and lose weight for the wedding, and now I can actually do that. I can do 2 a day.
Yeah, girl. When is your wedding? Is it in October?
Yeah. Yeah, I pray that this is all over there.
Girl, that's the other thing, because I've been hoping, I feel like my role in like COVID and all my yeah, the reality is, if you're getting married this year, the reality is, a wedding is one day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that. I was like, we have to cancel. All that money comes back to me most of it.
Get a big insurance. Yeah, get a big insurance. That's the only thing. I'm like, if you have a big insurance to cover your wedding, they will write you a check. He and I were going my apartment, we were leaving like the first weekend in August. My apartment flooded the week before we left. You best to believe I filed that insurance claim and got a whole refund. Mm-hmm. Insurance saves the day every single time. Every single time. Let me drop something in the chat to make sure people know like we're here.
Yeah, I was talking to my pastor earlier because they're not used to using social media. He thinks this is all for the devil or something, so he started using it, and now, you know, I comment and all that kind of stuff. So he was like, can you come over to the admin building on Sunday because we need help.
High-grade stuff.
And I was like, Pastor, I haven't been out the house, so you want me to come out into that corona air?
Yeah,
but I said I'll come early. It's in the morning. Not too
like that, man.
Yeah. It's funny.
Can't catch corona in the morning.
You can catch corona anytime.
All right. You don't see stuff of this quality every day.
Hi.
This will be a cinch.
We hear you.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you, Megan.
Hello.
Wow, this is a rare mineral.
The star.
Hey, bro.
Wow, this is a rare mineral.
Alright, let me post this. Alright. Hey Megan, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, this is Ariel in case you go phone now.
Hey Ariel, how are you?
This ought to make a tasty snack.
Hey Anika, good to see you. Girl, you muted. Are you in NOLA or are you still abroad?
No, I'm in New Orleans. I was only in Ghana for like a couple of weeks last year.
Things are finally back to normal.
I didn't remember where to start, but I'm hoping everybody
there's a nice breeze passing through that tunnel.
Not trapped in some like place they can't get out of.
Wow, this is a rare
Waiting for the government to come pick them up, right?
Yeah.
Wow, this is a rare mineral. This is great.
Thanks for hosting
Look at
us.
all this energy.
Girl, anytime, anything that we need in in the Black Women Polos community, I'm down for it. So anytime I don't already have a movie book, happy to offer up those. I write it off on my business taxes.
Look at all of this energy.
So,
we've been taking care of each other. We're gonna be okay.
Y'all, we're gonna be fine. Like, this is a 24-hour news cycle that's gonna pass, and tomorrow, like,
this energy.
Tomorrow, just no, we're fine. Nothing is gonna happen to the Black Fellows reunion. Keontae and I are gonna put out a message about that. That's why we were adamant about it never being attached to the organization. So, no, everything is
This one might be tough to take down.
We didn't want this group, so.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Rhoda, how are you doing?
I was like, yeah, let's start there, Rhoda. How can we help you? How are you doing? You're only board number 11.
I'm literally on
And I love you for that. I love you for putting up with all that bullshit to still be there and represent us and be at the table. Thank you.
literally the only reason. Literally, because once you set the fire, I can't even, you know, like, if you see statues, you got, like, you don't let go out and then, like, oh, everything's in shock. What? What? I'm still like in the middle of I just feel really badly that couldn't prioritize community. Like, people don't need things to be done in a way to promote fear and what is it, like abandonment or something, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm gonna protect.
you can offer to do what you can, but you can only control
This
yourself.
looks like some high-grade stuff.
You're very, yes, ma'am. You're a very strong woman for keeping quiet while all that bullshit was going on the Facebook page today. I know
This
that
ought
was
to make
hard.
a tasty snack.
Yeah.
It's hard, but like
This is
totally
rare mineral.
predictable. Like,
This is incredible. It's
I
giving
do
off
a
a
lot
ton
of
of
like
energy.
dysfunction or people going through, you know, trying to survive dysfunction at work. So I'm like, when it comes to behavior, I'm not tired of anything, but I also know that
This
PD
looks like
doesn't
some
help anyone
high-grade
because
stuff.
it's kind of floundering. And you can offer some of these solutions and opportunities, but if sometimes people don't want it. They want to burn it down on the way out, and you can't control that. And so it's tough when you're like, hey, let's do this community that's kind to you and everybody, and like, no.
Not surprising. Not surprising to hear that at all.
People are dying. You know, that's the thing. Is, like, I have students that are calling me in tears like my dad did. And so to me, you give me information, you give people information, people have to make decisions, and it's the kindest, and you're here perpetrating, but it's not. You, like, I don't, this is the best time we have to collect an extra $600 a year.
This looks like some
That
high-grade
we don't
stuff.
have to give.
This would be a cinch.
I mean,
We don't have it to give to you in food.
yeah. I honestly think that, like, you know, I've been starting Black since 13, and I was there when Adriana was there. And, I mean, it was well known that she wasn't taking a salary. Like, I think when you know, you guys have those meetings, go through the history of, like, what CEOs were getting compared to what she got, and that, like, when they started giving salaries again, Cesar and his team, everyone was getting the same amount, and it was $28,000. You know, they were living in a single home together. Like, it was very Spartan. So, and I think if people see that, because somebody already pointed out on one of the threads, like, wait, why did this cost over 40%? And I think that part of that has to show that, like, obviously everyone deserves to get paid. I agree with that. But if you're going from, you had a CEO that had no money, didn't take a salary, was doing it for free for several years, to Cesar kicking it off to getting paid $28,000 to, I don't know what her compensation is, but I presume it's at least over $50,000 in a very short amount of time. And, like, starting Block hasn't grown that quickly to, like, justify pay increases. You know what I'm saying? I think you guys need to include a financial history to kind of like, not necessarily. I think just to show that like Starting Block isn't this robust organization that you guys may have believed. It has very much continued on the sweat of very generous people for a very long time. You know, for Adriana to be working the way she did without a salary, that was a huge amount of generosity that like not a lot of people would have been willing to do. You know, and it wasn't like she was a slacker about it. She was very much there and present. You know, when she was there, they had a whole bunch of like MBA programs. She got people to sponsor the happy hours. You know, it was you know, it was kind of. I mean, I feel like a little bit more professional back then. Of like, okay, how do we make connections to grad programs and stuff like that?
Megan, you bring up a really important point about history. I think a lot of fellows, especially that have come in lately, they're too new to know the Starting Block almost closed in 2014. It was the board that gave an emergency grant that let the organization stay alive. Well. The board could have decided to close the organization entirely, as many of you called out on the thread. And it's not that the board doesn't want to respond. I want y'all to know that. Like, I don't think we should. Like, we are advised not to. Because the reality is, all this could end up in court. And so, I don't know who y'all know, but y'all know, I'll just say this, because I get to be a black woman and being a fellow in this moment rather than a board member. Who do y'all know that looks like us that gets to do what we saw today? Nobody, okay? The reality is, nobody. You have to be twice as good when you look like us. The reality is, look at the size of this thing. Should be surprised, because when you look at the transparency report, you see not only in 2019, but you see it in 2018, 2017, 2016, 2015. You see iterations of teams who have consistently failed to build institutes, who have consistently failed to fundraise, and who have consistently failed to meet organizational goals. I don't know anybody that gets to keep their job and also not meet their goals. That's not how organizations work. And that's not how organizations usually survive. So the reality is, the board could have closed the org today. I think that's what people probably felt in their initial shock. It seems like people are calming the fuck down now that they realize the org is closed. And they're looking and they're seeing the majority of where the exist comes from is by having a team. The community is always going to be able to move. It's why, like, we've been able to move and we're able to have this call, quite frankly. Like, the community is not dependent upon its team members. The community is dependent upon how the community shows up. This shit could have been resolved if everybody in the community gave. But look at something transparent and transformative happens when people decide not to support for one reason or another. Like, hell, I'll be transparent and honest and say, I could have given more significantly than I have, but I've intentionally chosen not to because of some of the trauma I've heard about within the last year. Yeah. Did I give when I was board member? Absolutely. I no longer have those obligations. And so I think what I really appreciate that you all seem to so clearly understand is that we need to have perspective about what's really happening and realize, like, it's not just about two. It's about the whole world. Look at the size of this thing. I don't know of any business that's event-based, and I'm saying this as somebody who's partnered with someone whose income was completely wiped out, where we don't know where T's money is coming in and coming from because he is an entrepreneur, because he owns a truck. Entrepreneurs don't get to claim unemployment. They get to figure it the fuck out. So, like, the reality is you aren't being furloughed in that moment. No, you're an owner, and owners, like, they're not an airline. They're not getting a bailout from the government. Yeah. Let me be quiet. I hope y'all just know and can hear my heart in saying, like, I'm always going to be about what we need in this community, and that the community's going to be okay. So, like, I hope you all can trust that the board did what it absolutely had to do to keep the organization alive so we can still have that conversation. What to do next? Because like I said, they could have closed the board, which would have been a completely different dynamic and scenario. Yeah. I mean,
I was confused about why there was fundraising when there were obviously not going to be any there weren't going to be any institutes. Like, basically we were fundraising for their salaries. And if that fundraising would have been, okay, well, we're going to identify some fellows that are in desperate need right now, and that money is going to go out to them. maybe I would have taken the little pennies I have and put to that. But I'm definitely not paying Christine's salary. Y'all already, anybody that's been on the call since we started this, y'all already know how I feel about Christine. I definitely ain't putting no money to pay for her.
And most people don't. I mean, that's best practice, right? You do not fundraise so that it's publicly known that you're supporting people's salary. What you do is you help people understand how they're contributing to impact. That's not what we saw in this latest campaign. This latest campaign was a call, and even questions like, why are we running an institute with just 40 fellows when we know that most fellows, in order for them to break even, need to have at least 100 people? Why are we going abroad if we're not even filling the institutes that are in the United States? There's so many questions we could have asked. Why are we refunding people without invoking event insurance policies first? Lots of strategic questions, again, about perspective, right? Jessica and, is it Yassidi? Please forgive me if I said your name incorrectly. I got it wrong, damn it. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say hi. I don't think I've met y'all. I don't think we met y'all or seen y'all here before. Hey.
Hey. I think I talked to Anita when she first launched this. Like, I travel quite a lot, not anymore, obviously. So I'm never around. But I'm Yaxi, pronounced like Pepsi, but with a Y and a B, if that helps any of you guys. But yeah, I've been with Starting Block since 2008. So I've been here for quite some time and seen it through all of the transitions and what it's become. And I think this group is like a real, it's my favorite part of what Starting Block has evolved into. Like, I don't think we realized the number of fellows from past cohorts that no longer fit any kind of part.
This looks like some high-grade stuff. This ought to be good.
People of color were just like, this community just does not serve me any purpose, and you know, like they just don't engage. I think this is more of like the warrior group that's staying back, like a good fight kind of thing. But as far as
you know, we still are not on the Starting Block page. You know, somebody told me today, we still are not on the Starting Block page, and we've been around for a year, over a year.
Yeah,
well, I think that'll change shortly once we.
But no, I mean, this whole thing with what's happening, I'm kind of confused as to why it's a big deal. Let me put it that way, because the world is going to shit right now. Like, I could care less of people. Like, there are people literally dying. Like, we're trying to figure out how to get people to stay home in Africa because we don't understand the concept of social distancing. Like, it's like, you know, like, we're about to get hit hard with this epidemic there, and, like, I'm just like, please, like, I'm sorry you're losing your jobs, but, like, you know, you can go conduct unemployment. Like, being let go is actually a good thing for you right now. Like, their business is collapsing. I mean, you see everything around us is shutting down. People are, you know, I mean, the local coffee shop went out of business. One of the long-standing, like, improv centers shut down. Like, I mean, there's so much stuff, like, with small community-based organizations shutting down around us. This is not
tough to take down.
So strategic failure is sometimes a good thing. Strategic mistake, guys, you gotta let you know that you will be able to collect your unemployment, stay home and work on your projects, whatever. Count it as a blessing, you know. So yeah, that's kind of where I am. So I was just to understand that. And I get that people have a lot of time on their hands right now as well. So and you might need a place to dump their emotions, and this is a good place.
I totally take it as their need to save white women.
You seen it, Sophia?
Still a lot of room for improvement.
Hi, yeah, I joined a bit late. I just actually saw Brandy, you posted the link. So I just want to say hi. I'm Shannon. I'm part of Starting Block. I'm not really too active, but you know, I try to keep up with what's going on. So I'm thankful for this group, and I just wanted to just join the call.
Hey, there. So yeah, I was post and
Hi everyone, I'm sorry, I just woke up from a 15-minute nap. I kind of resonate a lot with what Yexi said. I have been on stop trying to just find my own solutions here locally. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. Just convening small business providers, government around solving solutions for businesses. I like the chain thing. I was reading the comments earlier and just like.
That went pretty well.
Like, oh, this is popping up again. I was looking at how people are talking to each other. It just reminds me how toxic that community is and how they don't censor or realize privilege. You know, the way they were coming from I was like, wait a minute. Like, there's just like still needs to be some fundamental conversations about how we look at our privileges and how we talk to each other. So it just reminded me a lot of kind of all the nonsense of why I pulled up, and also how it hasn't really adapted to help me in a professional way. This group, I'm grateful for because at least I know that there's a space where they're centering empathy and
look at the size of this thing.
Have just real conversations about the work. So that's kind of where I'm at, and just like again, and I also kind of reflect on I recentered. I'm like, wait a minute, this is for 2 people who lost jobs, and understanding now the nature of why they popped off the movie. And then also, did we even talk about why they took the picture so there's no voice? I was thinking
and I was ready to be like, y'all told the vote for all the black people. Again, I'm gonna comment to myself and to Ryan. She is very manipulative.
I called that out. I just want to say I did everything around the stage. I didn't answer that message to the senator. And you got really interested in but I had called it out across the website. I didn't have to know the stuff everywhere. I mean, before it was what was going to happen. I could just say that I appreciate my but I was very thankful. You actually held your own. If you're not going to be there and be consistent, then you need to leave people alone. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go in and play in someone's backyard like it's camp and then be out.
On top of in NOLA, they were partnering with people who really fuck over black entrepreneurs.
What?
Hey, that went pretty well.
Well, that's
this will be a cinch.
I mean, I want to say, like, historically, I was just surprised to be the CEO because
this looks like some high-grade
when we had a business, we decided to participate in the Rapid Prototype Challenge for LA 2016, and she was the COO at that time. And I felt like it was coincidence just to be confirmed because, you know, they put out this call, like, we need businesses, local businesses. I'm like, hey, I know somebody. What do we need to do? And it was like up until the week of, we were still trying to get information about like what type of challenge, what do we need to prepare. And so I thought she came off as incompetent to me when she was just the chief operations officer. And then like at the actual event, I felt like she was very rude and abrasive, considering that like, yeah, I'm a fellow, but I was also participating as a business, you know, with people that aren't part of, Starting Block, that this was their first exposure to Starting Block, people that could have been potential fellows. And I felt, I understand that institutes are hectic and whatever, but I was just like, yo, you're the one that it took forever for me to get a response. You asked for this, I gave it to you, I understand institutes, they're always putting them together for the final moment, because I've mentored and I've volunteered for several years, but I was just like, I don't know, when I met her in that capacity, that was my real first interaction with her, outside of just like fellow to fellow, I was like, okay, fine. So I was very surprised when Cesar stepped away, and I'm not familiar with everything about that she was named as the CEO, considering that I don't feel like she was doing a competent job compared to Molly. You know, like, I felt like Molly and Laura, when they were, people organizing a lot of stuff, it just seemed smoother overall.
Some of us might be able to did y'all see that CNN article that was like coaches calling the boyfriend? I was like, Lord, I'm great.
It's like domestic violence too. Domestic violence.
Yeah. Yeah, they know Jessica, you're right. You know what to do.
And I can do projecting because I'm tired. And I think so, I think the reason why I decided not to respond or anything is everything that comes with the conversation with the organizations that I'm funding, and it's like all the time. And that's why I commented on the picture, because it's always kind of a manipulation or kind of going back like, oh, I like black people, or oh, I like this, and they over and do one thing, and I'm like, for the moment you're fundraising, for the moment you want to protect yourself because you want people to rally behind you. And I'm coming from a space like, I'm Latina, right? I'm Puerto Rican, but I can understand where I need to step up and to step back. And I think that this group and the fellowship continues to fail is that they never got that, and they never really got the context of like even how to pay, like financial things and all that. Like I took student loans. That's how it paid for my fellowship. Was like I'm like, oh, well, let me show up and play, and then at that time I was 28, 29, and I was like trying to do everything. And I had interesting conversations and how people kind of I didn't really have to because he needed to do it and I didn't want and so I just made comments after the fellowship was over, like, hey, I wish this was happening. Now we can make it. I told them, I said, whenever I go in a space, I count how many people are with me, and at that time I counted 4. And I talked about that, and I said that in one of like the happy hour sessions, and they were like, oh, interesting. And it's like, oh, it's interesting why we're interesting to you. You're not even a fellow yet. And I'm just like, but I'm going through this. We're talking about 2% of time. We're talking about minutes. So, but I still drank the Kool-Aid and I still try to engage. I had created a relationship with one of the top one of the VPs of ASU, and to bring Started Block to ASU, and then that opportunity dropped because Adrian, she was transitioning out, and so that opportunity just went like this, and I was like, oh. And so that's kind of when I kind of scaled back. So I don't know, I'm rambling.
No, not rambling. I remember. I'm pretty downstairs. I don't know if that was.
Adrian was still there 2013 was the last year.
Was that Volcano?
Yeah, the LA 2013 was Volcano, and then what happened was I went to New York 13 as a mentor, and then they failed to get the project off the ground, and that's when Adrian and Laura transitioned out.
Yeah, I do remember that. And Lindsay was there for a bit. Yeah.
Look at that! I went through my fellowship here in New Orleans when we were taking the Confederate monuments down, and they were very, specifically Cesar was very insensitive to like what was going on in the city. No. But it was something that I have been working on. It was something that I have been working, well, not like specifically working, but it's something I have been participating in for months before that happened. And it just so happened that Robert E. Lee came down while they were doing the Institute. And rather than taking the opportunity right then to really be centering on equity, they kind of act like that didn't happen. So you guys are the best part of Starting Block for me. I've been very vocal about how Starting Block is really not a place that nurtures Black women. And so I just want to say that I appreciate all of you guys. I'm glad that we are in our own group. And as Brandy said, that basically, since we're not sanctioned, we might come out of this stronger than the whole Starting Block organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add that, like, again, having been in Starting Block for like 10 years now, the board has historically, and Rhoda, I don't know how long you've been on the board. Honestly, I kind of started checking out from a lot of Starting Block stuff over the last. So, but
understandable.
Yeah.
Do what you can.
But yeah, historically, the board never had a history of like listening to its fellows. Long before the LA program started, I used to live in LA, and there were a group of us there that wanted to start an LA chapter and hold a thing there and stuff, and the board was like, hell no. So we kind of went rogue and did it anyway. This was like in 2009 that we just went ahead and did it, and I don't even like we asked if we could have like a website linked to the Starting Block homepage, and we're gonna hold a program, and we held an event, and people came, and I mean, they didn't fund any of that. We funded that completely out of pocket. And then the board came down on us, and then some years later, they were like, oh, we're launching an LA chapter. It was like 2010, I think, or 2011 that LA fellowship started. But there's just a history of not like fellows trying to be engaged, and then they're being pushed back from whoever is leading the Starting Block at that time. This is a very cyclical thing. Like it hasn't changed, and I don't know what will change that. But there needs to be some listening ear, whether it's from. And again, back then there was barely Starting Block was figuring out what it was. You know, like there was a bunch of people that came together doing stuff, but I don't think anyone was safe at the time. But I think that kind of stuff needs to be looked at, and this is an opportunity
Looks like me and Boo are friends now.
Kind of hitting the reset button in many ways. So this is a good time to look at what's not working and how do we change that, instead of like saying the businessy stuff like, we understand, you know, this is that's happening. It's like, let's have an open, transparent, like radically honest conversation about how people feel and how do we change from there. Nobody's getting paid now, so there should be no reason to kind of not have that conversation. But yeah.
Yeah. And I think, Brandy, you can also speak to this, but thank you for giving that context, because you've been around longer than me. But I know when I was, so I think Mary and Brandy was already on the board, but Mary and Mitchell, I remember those are the two people I spoke to, because this is when I had a shirtless and they reached out and like, oh, you showed the stuff, you work for a nonprofit, you know, months ago. And so I think the grand experiment was like, to your point, this was all, you know, external, traditional board structure, extremely senior people giving their kind of top-down view, and that it was like a grand experiment. Correct me, Brandy, you could jump in anytime.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'll add, so keep going.
Yeah, if I get anything wrong, but from how it was explained to me, it was, you know, like this is going to be a grand experiment. It's like having a completely fellow-led board, and have like the kind of built-in voice of the fellowship. And I know moving forward, and you know, we'll have calls and stuff like that, but I know I'm very interested in just, you know, concept of decentralized power and constructs, and just people being able to what I feel has been explained to exist. I'm happy that the push for regional, like, revive and kind of made it so, to your point, formalizing these groups, that it's not top down, someone telling you what to do, versus like, how can we help you do something for yourself? So I'm optimistic.
helpful if I provide some board history. So I joined the board in 2017. And in 2017, and up until that point previously, the board had a very like traditional governing structure. And what I mean by that is they met quarterly, they met to approve the budget, they met to make sure things were falling apart, and they heard a few updates, and then they were gone. So when you have a board that only shows up 4 times a year, there's not a lot that can be done in that time, right? So when I came on, and they had been on board for probably about 4 years, some of those board members, again, gave to save Starting Block and keep Starting Block alive at that time. So they stepped in, they don't talk about it, because they don't need to, they don't want that recognition. And in some of the same ways, like the board continued to be silent. In a lot of ways, part of it is because the board has always been volunteer, so they're not paid. They have full-time jobs, they have companies, they have families, and all of these things to run, other responsibilities in their business. And part of it is also because when you are a board member, there are legally things you cannot do and that you cannot say because you would put the organization in jeopardy or yourself in jeopardy. Let me paint this in a different way. It is so important that board members be mindful of what they say that there's even a special kind of insurance to protect board members. So if any of y'all are ever thinking about board service, ask them first if they have board of directors insurance. Because the reality is, if anybody ever gets sued, that is what protects you and keeps you safe in situations like this that seem catastrophic and seem impossible. The reality is, in that moment, like, that's what saves you, because when hard decisions have to be made, this is where we are. People have a lot of feelings, but the reality is, I don't really know that I'm coming out of the nonprofit sector, being a former executive, I'm now in the tech sector. I don't know any boards that are as open as the Starting Block board has been lately, okay? You might get lucky if you get public access record to all the meeting minutes, but the reality is, all you traditionally get is a 990, and that's it. So for organizations to be more open than that, especially on the nonprofit side, that's unusual. I'm not condoning or even aligning with what's happened lately. I just want to paint a picture of how things traditionally go down. So in 2017, when Rhoda and I came on first, and most of the board that you would have seen prior to 2019 was there. We served through Starting Block's, we served through Cesar's transition. And when we came on board, we adopted a different culture. So by a different culture, rather than meeting quarterly, what we started to do was we met monthly. And so for everything that you did not see happening and that the team couldn't do because the team was very small, so it was 3 of them, they were making $43,000 each at that time. They were all making the same thing. We covered for them, okay? They didn't have any health insurance. They didn't have any benefits. They were operating from a place of $43,000, living off that and going about their business. But in that, we started to show up differently, and that we really took on helping the organization expand in like very strategic ways. There was a leadership transition during that time, as you all know. Leadership transitions take a lot of time. So there were a lot of, let me put it this way. What I know for a fact is that there were hundreds of thousands of hours collectively that the 10 of us put in that y'all never heard about. 1, because we didn't want the grandeur and the things that come with that. But 2, because that's not a board member's place to talk about how much time we've spent and how much we've donated. That's not a board role, right? In 2019, a few things happened pretty quickly. We opened up board applications for the first time. The Starting Block board application process had never been open. So it had always been closed. It had always happened through the lens of like people being nominated that knew people that were already connected to the organization in some way. We opened it up. I was board chair when the year started. I left the board on March 13th. My father died on March 5th, and I knew about March 13th that I did not feel comfortable leading the organization in that capacity, given that I needed to breathe. And to put in some context to like why I knew that was the right decision for me, in case anybody has any questions, I'm an only child. My dad died unexpectedly. We had no notice. And the reality is, because he died unexpectedly, it has shifted my complete norm. If you haven't lost a parent yet, then what I can tell you about that experience